It was the first day of the new school year at Ridgewood High. The corridors buzzed with laughter, gossip, and the sound of sneakers squeaking against the shiny floors. For most students, it was an exciting day, but for one girl, it was pure anxiety. Her name was Maya Thompson, a 16-year-old junior who had just transferred from another school across the state. She walked slowly, clutching her backpack straps like they were her shield, eyes down, trying to avoid attention. Her brown hair fell over her face, hiding her shy eyes. She wasn't used to crowds. She wasn't used to people. But there was one thing she was used to: discipline, because what no one at Ridgewood High knew was that Maya was the state karate champion, undefeated for 3 years straight, but she didn't look like it. And that's why the bullies thought she was an easy target. At lunch that day, Maya sat alone at the corner table in the cafeteria. She quietly opened her lunchbox, homemade sandwiches, when 3 students walked past, laughing loudly. They were Brianna, the queen bee of Ridgewood, her boyfriend Chad, the football captain, and his friend Logan, who laughed at everything cruel. Brianna stopped, smirked, and whispered, "Look who decided to sit in our spot." Maya froze. "Our spot?" she asked softly. "Yeah," Brianna said, tossing her hair. "This is our table. Fresh meat like you sit over there." She pointed to the trash bins near the door, where a few kids who didn't fit in usually sat. Maya tried to ignore her and took a bite of her sandwich. That made Brianna's smile vanish. Chad grinned wickedly. "Hey, she thinks she can ignore you, babe." Before Maya could react, Chad knocked her lunchbox off the table, spilling food all over the floor. The whole cafeteria went silent for a moment. Then someone laughed. Then another. Soon it spread. The laughter, the pointing, the mocking. Maya's hands trembled, but she said nothing. She quietly picked up her food, wiped the floor with tissues, and left the cafeteria. That moment replayed in her head the whole day. But instead of crying, she went home, changed into her karate uniform, and stepped into her father's dojo. Her father, Sensei Thomas, noticed her silence. "Rough first day?" She nodded. He looked at her for a long moment and said, "Remember what I taught you, Maya. Strength is not about showing it off. It's about when to use it," Maya whispered. "But Dad, when they push too far, what then?" Thomas smiled. "Then you remind them who you are." The next few days were the same. The bullying got worse. They tripped her in the hallways. They threw notes at her during class. And once, Brianna even poured water on her backpack by accident. Teachers noticed, but Brianna's family was influential in the school board, so no one dared to confront her. One day during gym class, things escalated. Coach Miller announced they'd be doing self-defense practice as part of physical education. Students would pair up, learn a few basic moves, and demonstrate. When he asked for volunteers, Brianna raised her hand immediately. "Coach," she said, pretending to giggle, "can I go against the new girl? I want to make sure she feels welcome." The class laughed. Coach hesitated. "All right, but take it easy." Maya stood across from Brianna. Trying to hide her discomfort, Brianna whispered, "Don't worry, I'll go easy on you." Then, without warning, she shoved Maya hard. The class gasped as Maya stumbled back. "Oops," Brianna said mockingly. "Guess she's too weak." Maya took a deep breath, steadying herself. Coach was about to stop the session, but Brianna lunged again, this time aiming to push her harder. That's when something changed in Maya's eyes. Her body moved instinctively. She sidestepped, grabbed Brianna's wrist, twisted it gently, and in one fluid motion pinned her to the mat. The room went silent. Brianna screamed, "Let go of me!" Maya released her immediately and stepped back, bowing politely. Coach Miller's mouth was half open. Where did you learn that?" Maya said softly. "My father's a sensei." Someone from the back whispered, "Sensei, like karate." Coach nodded slowly, stunned. "Looks like we've got a real fighter here." But not everyone was impressed. Brianna's face turned red with embarrassment. "You think you're tough, huh?" she hissed. "You'll regret this." That night, Brianna couldn't let it go. Her pride was shattered, so she planned something cruel. She told Chad and Logan, "Tomorrow after school, we're going to teach her a lesson she'll never forget." Chad grinned. "You mean Yeah, Brianna said coldly. We'll corner her behind the gym. No teachers, no cameras. Let's see how tough she really is. The next day, as school ended, Maya stayed back to help clean up the gym equipment. When she stepped outside, she noticed the campus was almost empty. As she turned the corner behind the gym, she froze. Brianna, Chad, and Logan were waiting. Well, well. Look who's alone, Brianna sneered. Chad blocked her path. You embarrassed my girl in front of everyone. I didn't mean to, Maya said quietly. It was just practice. Practice? Brianna mocked. Let's see you practice this. Chad shoved Maya hard. She stumbled but didn't fall. Logan laughed. She's so tiny, she can't even fight back. Brianna pushed her again, this time harder, and Maya fell to the ground, scraping her hand. For a moment she just looked at the dirt, breathing slowly. Then she remembered her father's words. When they push too far, remind them who you are. She stood up. Her eyes were calm now, too calm. Are you done? She asked softly. Brianna frowned. What did you say? I said, are you done? Before Brianna could reply, Chad grabbed her shoulder. But in a blink, Maya blocked his arm, twisted it around, and flipped him onto the ground. Logan rushed toward her. She sidestepped and swept his leg, sending him tumbling. Brianna screamed, What the? She tried to slap Maya, but Maya ducked, moved behind her and gently but firmly held her arm in a lock, not hurting her, just enough to show control. Stop it, Maya said. You don't want this. For a moment everything was silent except their heavy breathing. Then footsteps approached. Coach Miller and two teachers appeared. Alerted by the noise, what's going on here? Brianna immediately shouted, She attacked us. But Logan, still sitting on the ground, muttered, That's not true, Coach. We started it. Everyone turned to him. She didn't do anything. We tried to mess with her and she defended herself. Coach Miller looked at Maya. Is that true? Maya nodded. Yes, sir. The teachers escorted the bullies away. Brianna kept shouting, This isn't over. But for the first time, her voice shook with fear, not confidence. The next day, the school was buzzing again, but this time the whispers were different. Did you hear? The new girl took down the football captain. Bro, she's like some karate master. No way, she's actually the state champion. Even the teachers treated her differently now, not out of fear, but respect. Later that day, Coach Miller asked her to stay after class. He said, Maya, I did some reading. Your record's impressive. Would you be interested in starting a self-defense club here? Maya's eyes lit up. Really? Absolutely. I think the students could learn a lot from you, not just fighting, but discipline. And that's how it began. Ridgewood Self-Defense Club, led by the once shy girl. Months passed. Maya's club became one of the most popular in the school. Students who were once afraid now walked the halls with confidence. Even some of the former bullies joined, including Logan, who apologized sincerely. But Brianna, she couldn't handle it. Her pride was gone, and her influence faded. One day, she found Maya in the dojo after class. Maya looked up, surprised. Brianna? Brianna hesitated, eyes down. I came to say sorry. Maya smiled gently. You don't have to. No, Brianna interrupted. I do. I was jealous. Everyone liked you. You were quiet, but strong. I wanted that. Instead, I became a bully, Maya nodded. You can still be strong, just differently. That was the beginning of something unexpected, a friendship. A year later, Ridgewood High hosted the state karate exhibition. And this time, Maya wasn't competing alone. She was performing with her teammates, including Brianna and Logan. The crowd cheered as they showcased discipline, teamwork, and courage. When it was over, the principal took the mic and said, Let this be a reminder. Strength is not about hurting others. It's about protecting what's right. The gym erupted in applause. And in the front row, Maya's father stood proudly, tears in his eyes. As the camera zooms out on Maya smiling, the narrator speaks. In a world where people often judge by appearances, Maya proved that true power lies not in muscles or fame, but in character. She didn't fight to show off. She fought to stand tall, for herself and for everyone who's ever been pushed down. So, if you've ever felt small, remember, You don't have to be loud to be strong. Sometimes quiet strength speaks the loudest. And before we go, if this story inspired you even a little, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and share it with someone who needs to hear it today. You're watching Outstanding Stories, where courage always wins.